Yo, what's going on, guys? Illegally here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, personally, I just want to talk about something that's been on my mind for quite a bit. No screen records, just me going to be talking in this one. So, basically, I found out some information about the CP bar for the 2023 circuit and about locals. And I remember in my last video I talked about, I had a question about if locals were actually going to give out points, and I talked to some head TOs and I talked to some higher ups in the community, and locals are not going to give points until a later date, most likely in February perhaps, or late February, something like that. And I think it's really dumb. What is annoying to me is TPCI, the Pokemon Company International, as a company, makes a lot of bad decisions. And that affects a lot of players in the community. The fact that there is literally almost no Latin America support is very annoying. And the fact that we do have some Latin America support now in the form of a regional, but the regional wasn't VGC because it wasn't, it didn't happen this year or next year. And then Asia basically is screwed. Russia doesn't really have a circuit. Asia can't really qualify. So a lot of things the Pokemon Company does, I don't quite understand. Especially from just a company standpoint, they don't make good decisions. And I think the decision to make it so that we don't have events until January for VGC was a really bad decision already. Lowering the CP bar was necessary because of their actions and what they did. So I'm happy they did that, but they're also depriving the community of the community. I mean, even if the locals didn't give us points, it's still the community aspect that we have that I enjoy. I have a lot of friends that go to locals that I was, wanting to meet up with and catch up with, but I couldn't, which is unfortunate. And honestly, now we have events in January, but they're not going to give out points. So I'm still going to go to some locals, just to meet up with friends, but they don't give out points, which is very, very annoying. Because I'm home right now, and I know there's like one tournament that I could go to, and I would like to start racking up points for Worlds, but I can't do that, which is very annoying. I feel like locals should start to give out CP. I don't really know what it's like for the TCG, but the TCG has regionals. They've had regionals. They have I'm just gonna look at the website right now. If you go to the TCG Masters leaderboards right now, what do you need, 500 to qualify? You have 10 people already qualified for Worlds, worldwide. And you have, let's put it this way, you have 62 players that are at least halfway qualified for Worlds. VGC, you have one person that's halfway qualified, or I guess you have 4. But it still kind of stands and still remains the same that VGC has been lacking events for so long now, when we really just need the community back, and the lack of transparency when it comes to what time frame we're going to be getting CP given events back is really disturbing. I've talked to people that are high ups in the community, and they've told me their estimations. But I don't believe the Pokemon Company has made an official statement of specifically when. They just said early 2023. Now, I envision early 2023 as January. Could also mean February as well. So maybe we're going to get events back in February. But my question is, or events that give CP back in February. But my question is, why? What's the point of not having us have events? They've never done this before, to my knowledge. And it's not like COVID screwed things up so badly to the point where it's still affecting us that terribly, right? So you can't throw COVID as an excuse right now. It's just piss poor management by the Pokemon Company. I don't quite understand it, honestly, because now our one single tournament to earn points over this, I guess, Christmas break that a lot of college kids have is San Diego Regionals, and I'm not flying from Pennsylvania all the way to San Diego and spending $1,500 on flights and whatnot. It's not gonna happen, right? I'd rather save that for other things like Yokohama. So it's quite annoying to me that they do this, honestly. Because why? See, my question is just why. I think they could have handled the situation so much better. I am glad we're getting locals back. Don't get me wrong. I think locals, having locals back is amazing, and I'm very excited for that. Just because it's community. I'm glad to see everyone, but the fact that it doesn't award points, I just don't like the lack of transparency that comes from the Pokemon Company. I'm going to be completely honest. The lack of transparency is what's really killing this. Because if I knew, like, when events were coming back, maybe I could be like, oh, okay, I can understand that or whatever. But they just haven't announced it at all, which is just, it's annoying. I feel like, and this is going to be the title for the video, I feel like the Pokemon Company, they take one step forward and 3 steps back almost every time. The Players' Cup was 1 step forward in the right direction. I mean, if I go, it's going to be on the screen, but if I go on YouTube, just type in like Pokemon VGC Players' Cup, the finals for the Players' Cup has 2 million views, like, that's good. Obviously, because Wolf was there. But, like, 2 million views. Like, it went decently viral. Like, they had a decent competitive circuit that, like, everyone cared about. And it was really fun to play against. I played against Jude Lee. I played against Colin Iyer. Like, all these top players in the Players' Cup. It was really fun. So, they had an online circuit there. But then every single thing, they've stepped back. Just not having locals resume in 2022 circuit. Makes a bit worse sense because that's when COVID was still like legitimately a thing. I mean, COVID is still a thing now, but it's like less of a thing. But like when COVID was still a thing, you could easily control the type of environment at a regional, but it's very hard to do that with a local just because they're locals. So I can understand that, but then for the 2023 season, not having VGC have events until January, which is stupid in my opinion. I don't understand because we've always had post-World seasons, which I love post-World seasons. They are some of the most fun because people just bust out the craziest shit. I would have loved to have seen that personally, but no, we don't have a post-World season. And then once we finally get into the new year, our locals, when they finally got the event locator to work, which the event locator is pretty ass. I'm not going to lie. It's not the best event locator. It's definitely the old one performed better. But once we finally got these events, no CPs awarded. So it just feels like every single time they make a right move, they just decide no. And what's even more annoying is, or I guess what's nice now is the Pokemon Company is allowing VGC regionals to have more players, like we're consistently hitting 500 players, but I feel like we need more now. I feel like we could hit higher numbers, maybe a bit bigger venue spaces because now VGC is actually legitimately a thing. Like it's getting very popular now, so that's good. Shout out to Wolf Glick and Erzang. But it's just I'm gonna ramble on for this video, so I'm probably gonna cut it very short here. But yeah, it just feels like whenever we took a step forward in VGC, we always take a couple steps back. And I think it all just stems back to the lack of transparency, the lack of information has been presented so far. And I'm just very disappointed because I think it's such an easy thing to do, such an easy thing to fix. You tell people this is the official date when events can start giving CP. If you don't give us a reason, you don't give us a reason. You're still a dickhead, but whatever. At least we get an official date when we can start having CP for events. But when I go to judges and they say we have a time frame of when we think, this should not be a think situation. This should be a definite and we heard this from the Pokemon Company. So I don't really know what's happening there. One more thing I must add. It says, and I'm going to check again on the website, and then I'll wrap this video up. I'm going to check again on the website for the Pokemon Professor Program. I've been consistently checking that throughout this year, just because I want to be a professor in Colorado. And it says, it says currently that applications are still on hold until we plan to reopen applications by the end of 2022. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know this, but December 28th is pretty damn near the end of the year. So, come on, dude. I don't understand the hold up. I don't understand, the lack of information updates and everything. It's just been really killing the hype for me. Or I'm hyped, but it's been killing a lot of the hype for this season personally. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Tell me in the comments below what you think about this and how you think TPCI handled all this information. I really just think they did not handle it well. That being said, we do have official tournaments. I have to be grateful. But I feel like it could just be managed so much better. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And if you did enjoy the video, smash the like button, subscribe down below. Really appreciate it. Trying to get to 200 subs. Anyways, guys, I'm Glade. I'll see you all later. Peace.